Hi everyone, it's Karen here, and today I'm going to talk about all the vanilla perfume releases. I'm not going to talk about individual releases, I'm just going to talk about the onslaught of vanilla perfumes, specifically Gourmand sweet vanilla perfumes. There's been so many. There was Gucci Orchid. There was Afternoon Delight by Maison Margiela. There was, I'm reading here, Vanilla Bourbon Nest this year, Vanilla Skin by Fleur. Dries Van Noten released Vanilla Camouflage. Even Xerjoff released Nucleus. There has been so many perfumes that are heavily gourmand, heavily vanilla. And I love vanilla, but I don't know, I'm a little bit vanilla'd out. And I was just curious, like, why are there so many vanillas? Like what's going on? And I don't know, like I did a little bit of research and what I came up with is it's something that's like universally appealing to virtually all cultures. Like there is vanilla in most every culture, and it's often something that is given to you have from a young age because it's a milder, soft, sweet flavor. And so there's a sense of a connection to home when you smell it, a connection to maybe family or your mother. And it brings back for a lot of people this a really comforting, warm, good feeling. And so that lends it very well, that lends itself very well to fitting into perfume. And but like there's just so many of them. They just keep coming, the vanilla releases. And you know, when in the 1990s, there was a lot of florals, white florals, heady florals, more animalistic kind of perfumes. They were very strong, which was in line with like the big hair and the big shoulder pads and Dynasty and all this kind of stuff. But in the last 25 years, like 25 years ago, Bath and Body Works released. They had their very famous. Is it sparkling white sugar and sparkling vanilla sugar body spray, and this sort of made its way into the lives of so many, children, tweens, teens. And so that memory imprint of vanilla as a perfume, as a positive association started, like 25 years ago. And now those people are 20, 25, 30. And so there's a real strong emotional attachment to vanilla perfumes. And I think to me, that's like leading this drive towards vanilla perfumes. I mean, if you go back in history, perfumes were, there was Chypre, which I believe is like a citrus top, a floral, and then a mossy base. And that was sort of the classic framework for a perfume. And that persisted for a long time in terms of like Western perfumes, the Guerlains of the world. And it wasn't until, I think it was in the 20s when Guerlain released Shalimar, which was, a very different vanilla ambery scent that kind of broke the mold. And, at least in the Western world, was very non-traditional. And even, people said there's three things good girls don't do. It was smoke, dance the tango, and wear Shalimar or something like that, because it was so out of the box. Like now we go, Shalimar, whatever, that's grandma's perfume. But at the time, it was really innovative. And it actually, perfumers had been trying to get vanilla into perfumes and have been trying to get it in because it is a very universally accepted scent. I mean, the reasons vanilla sells is because it's universally pleasing. Like, I don't know that I've ever heard anyone say, I don't like vanilla. Maybe you might say it's a little boring, but they don't really say I don't like it. Vanilla is also very versatile. It can be very, very gourmand, or it can be very soft and airy. It can be paired with woods, with spices, with florals, with fruit. There's so many ways that you can use vanilla. It has a very good longevity. So it really, traditionally, a lot of the bases of perfumes were patchouli. Some people don't like patchouli. I thought I didn't like patchouli, and I've since come to realize I do like some of the patchoulis. But vanilla is another base. It's another way of holding the perfume and getting more longevity out of it. The other thing is there's like a cultural significance. Like vanilla is associated with luxury. It is associated with like indulgent, with desserts, with things that are sweet. It's a comforting scent. And nowadays, so many perfumes are talked about on social media. So it's either YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. And often these influencers are young. And vanilla is a very approachable scent. It's a scent that someone who is new to the perfume world can safely, tiptoe into the perfume world with scents that are very comforting to them and aren't challenging. They're not too heady, they're not animalistic, they're not offensive, they're not particularly usually complex. So with this onslaught of like what I would say like influencers that are young, I think the market sees it as, an easy way into advertising, an easy way to sell perfumes. If I give these vanilla smelling perfumes to this younger audience, they will talk about them on Instagram and they'll sell, as opposed to a more complex scented perfume that can be on social media, but maybe not as prevalent. And how do you get that word out? And also young people, tend to have a lot of disposable income, right? Because they're not usually like paying mortgages or car payments or tuition or anything like that. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. I really like vanilla. I don't get me wrong, I love vanilla, but I find lately I'm just a little bored with them, and I'm a little bit. Some of them are so sweet, just so sweet that I'm having a hard time. It's almost a scrub off because it's like, it's too much. And maybe my skin chemistry has changed. That happens. But I don't know. I just wanted to reflect on all the vanillas coming out. I know Vanilla Nest has vanilla bourbon. I haven't tried it. And then Gucci Vanilla Orchid. I tried that yesterday at Shoppers. And honestly, it was it was a it was very light, it was airy, and honestly, it was a little bit forgettable. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So, what is your favorite vanilla? What are your thoughts on the deluge of vanilla fragrances? Are you sick of it or are you loving it? All right, take care. Have a great weekend.